I applied for a 3-month annual leave with great difficulty. My husband said he was going to take me on a good trip. However, the next day he took me to his hometown. Xiao Su, you have nothing to do during this period anyway. Why don't you go take care of my mother? It will also promote the relationship between mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. I smiled and sent his mother to the police station. The original joy was instantly gone after hearing this. I looked at my husband Zhang Jingyun in the driver's seat with an unbelievable look. At this moment, he was concentrating on driving. Obviously, he didn't realize the change in my expression. He even continued to look forward and said to me, "Although my mother's home is in the countryside, it can't help but have a good environment. Didn't you always tell me that you think the air in the city is not fresh enough and want to go to a farmhouse? This happens to be a good place. Opportunity, right? You can take care of my mom and relax at the same time. It's a win-win situation. Besides, the prices in the countryside are not as high as those in the city. You can take paid leave during this period, so you don't have to worry about going over budget. Maybe, besides taking care of my mom, you can save some money." Zhang Jingyun kept talking about taking care of his mom. I just felt angrier and angrier as I listened. I couldn't even breathe. If we weren't on the highway, I really wanted to ask him to stop right where he was. However, when the cold wind from the window poured in, my rationality gradually returned. I calmed down. After the overwhelming anger, there was overwhelming disappointment. My Adam's apple rolled slightly. I calmly said to him, "These are two different things. Don't switch concepts, and didn't you tell me before that you would take me on a trip during my vacation?" Zhang Jingyun probably didn't expect me to say that. He was slightly stunned and then scratched his head. "There's no rush for my wife to travel. Anyway, we have plenty of time in the future. Now my mother is lying in bed with no one to take care of her. You also know that it's not easy for him to raise me from childhood to adulthood. He is sick now. I can't just ignore him. When I married Zhang Jingyun, I knew that he grew up in a single-parent family, but I didn't expect that he was actually a mama's boy." I took a deep breath and then spoke to him. "Zhang Jingyun, first of all, I didn't ask you to ignore your mother. Secondly, your mother is sick. You can hire a nurse to take care of her. No matter what, you shouldn't let me, a daughter-in-law, take care of him. After all, he is my mother-in-law. Not my mother. And I haven't even taken care of my own mother. How dare you ask me to take care of your mother?" I became more and more excited as I spoke. My words became sharp and harsh, and I didn't even give him any face. Zhang Jingyun's face fell instantly when he heard this. "Su Yimo, I just asked you to take care of my mother. What's wrong? As my wife, shouldn't you understand how difficult it is for me? I have to make money and think about my mother's illness. I haven't slept well for several days. I have been running back and forth between the countryside and the city these days. Isn't it hard for me? Su Yimo, you don't understand how difficult it is for me. Now you are blaming me for my faults. How can you be so selfish?" Hearing him ruthlessly accuse me, I almost couldn't breathe. Selfish. Just because I didn't take care of his mother, he ignored my efforts for this family over the years. Do you think I am a selfish woman? I looked at him with indifference and said in a cold tone. Zhang Jingyun, since you love your mother so much, you can take care of her yourself. After all, it is not easy for your mother to raise you. You should also take this opportunity to be filial. You said I was selfish, but in fact, you are the selfish person. From the moment you thought of leaving your mother to me, your mother raised you in vain. Hearing this, he immediately refuted my words. He told me that his career is now on the rise. If he is lucky, he will be the next department manager. If his career is affected by his mother-in-law's illness, then he will have to. It's not worth it. I listened to his high-sounding excuse and laughed foolishly. I decided to marry him because he was ambitious. But I didn't expect that his so-called ambition was just a selfish excuse. In his world, nothing is more important than him. Hearing this, I sneered and told him clearly that I couldn't take care of his mother. Let him find a way to solve this problem by himself. Seeing my tough attitude, Zhang Jingyan obviously lost his patience to persuade me. If I had a way, would I come to you for help? Do you think I don't know to hire a caregiver? But hiring a caregiver costs at least 5,000 yuan a month. I'm just a worker. My monthly salary is only 10,000 yuan. Su Yimo, I don't have you have such a strong background and ability. You are a civil servant. Your monthly income is basically guaranteed. You will also receive a generous bonus at the end of the year. You don't need to worry about anything in your life. And you have 3 months of paid vacation. In this case, wouldn't it be perfect for you to take care of my mother? It can not only help me solve this problem temporarily, but also promote your relationship with your parents-in-law. Isn't that right? It was not until this moment that I really understood his wishful thinking. I am a civil servant. I have a fixed income every month. My parents even run a small business. Our family can be considered a well-off family. It can be said that we have no worries about food and clothing. When Zhang Jingyan learned that I had 3 months of vacation after adjusting my annual leave, he put this plan on me and asked me to take care of his mother and try to use my money to pay for my mother-in-law's illness, so as to reduce his financial burden. This is a really good plan. When he thought about these things, he didn't even consider me, or think about discussing with me. He just tricked me here. Is this a done deal? Seeing my cold face, Zhang Jingyan took a deep breath. Then his tone softened. He demanded me again. My dear wife, just help me. You know, we are all a family. Aren't we a family that share difficulties? When I get promoted to a small leader in the future, I will definitely compensate you well then. Just work hard for 3 months, okay, wife, this is for our little family. Look at the big pie he painted for me. It really makes me feel secure. How could he be so shameless to say such a thing? He doesn't know how to take care of his own mother, but he asked me, an outsider, to take care of her. Did I marry him to be a nanny? At this point, I don't want to say anything more to him. It is absolutely impossible for me to take care of him. I turned back at the fork in the road. Halfway through, Zhang Jingyan stopped at the highway service area. I was a little angry about what happened just now, so I didn't want to stay in the same space with him. So I got off the car and prepared to go to the bathroom to wash my face and calm down. When I got off the car, of course I didn't miss his face that was as black as coal. But I knew I couldn't give in, because once I gave in this time, what awaited me would only be his further demands. However, when I came out again, I found that there was no car of Zhang Jingyan in the highway service area. I searched carefully twice outside, but I didn't see the familiar license plate number. My phone and wallet were left in the car. I was confused for a moment, and even a little at a loss. Because this place is close to the suburbs, there are no shops at the highway service station. This also means that I can't make a phone call at all. I can only wait for the next car to arrive and answer the phone call from the owner. During this period of waiting, my heart was filled with sadness and sorrow. No matter how much I deceive myself, I can't help but admit this fact. Zhang Jingyan deliberately left me in the service area. An empty service area. Did he want me to experience the loneliness of my mother-in-law and make me give in? It was just a dream. I waited from dawn to dusk for nearly 8 hours. At that time, I was almost in a coma due to hunger. Just when I thought I would sleep outside today, a car finally drove slowly in the distance. I borrowed the car owner's phone and called the police immediately. The car owner saw that I was pale and quickly handed me the bread and milk in the car. After eating, I felt that my thoughts gradually came back. About half an hour later, the police arrived. After learning about my experience, the police quickly called Zhang Jingyun and went over. Within 10 minutes, he drove in front of me. So, he had not been walking around here all the time. Realizing this, I felt more and more disgusted with him. After getting out of the car, he ran to me with a surprised look on his face and said to me, "Wife, you didn't get in the car. Then why didn't you call me? Stand beside me." And don't the male policeman in the distance saw this and looked down on him. "Don't you know whether your wife got in the car or not? His phone and wallet were in the car. How did you ask him to call you? Comrade, you are such an incompetent husband. And your wife has been waiting for you here for 8 hours. You didn't realize your wife was missing in such a long time. Do you know that without food and water, people will fall into a coma due to hypoglycemia? You are such a shame to our male compatriots." Seeing this, the private car driver who had just lent me his phone also accused him of his faults. Seeing that everyone began to condemn him, Zhang Jinjian's face turned red instantly. He apologized to me under the pressure of everyone. "I am really sorry, my wife. I didn't rest well during this period. This is what led to. I was a little dazed. Don't be angry, come home with me." He stretched out his hand and tried to grab my hand, but I avoided him, dazed. "Then how do you know the way back, Zhang Jingyun? I really didn't expect you to be such a scumbag." This was the first time I scolded Zhang Jingyun in public after we got married. His face was obviously a little embarrassed. He was so angry that he tightened his jaw and glared at me fiercely, but because there were other people present, he could only swallow his anger that I didn't want to ride in his car anymore. So, I asked the police to take me home. The police nodded. Then he took my luggage out of his car and put it in the police car. He drove away. On the way back, I couldn't help crying that I have been married to Zhang Jingyun for 5 years. After marriage, I always put him first in my heart, but I really didn't expect that he would be so ruthless to me for the sake of my mother-in-law. He even plotted against me. If I hadn't noticed that he was driving in the wrong direction, I'm afraid he would have sent me to my mother-in-law by now. Although he is my husband, his behavior this time really made me feel chilled. After returning, I made up my mind to divorce him, but I didn't expect that Zhang Jingyun would send my mother-in-law to me directly. The next morning, I was about to go out to find a divorce lawyer, but I didn't expect that as soon as I opened the bedroom door, a strange smell floated over from the living room. Zhang Jingyun was not at home at the moment that I walked over and took a look. This sight scared me. Zhang Jingyun's mother Su Tong was lying in my house at the moment. On the sofa. The fecal stench that polluted the space came from him. I almost felt sick and wanted to vomit on the spot. The paralyzed Su Tong's mouth was crooked at the moment. Saliva kept pouring out of his mouth. A large area of the leather sofa had been contaminated. There was also an unknown liquid dripping out from under him. The snow-white carpet was dyed yellow. Not only that, his pillow and quilt were also placed on the coffee table. You could smell a strange smell without getting close. Seeing this, I, who have always been good-tempered, was instantly furious. My mother-in-law was obviously sent home by Zhang Jingyun. So she saw that I didn't agree, and directly sent my mother-in-law to me, right? Is this a complete case of forcing someone to do something? I temporarily suppressed my anger and immediately took out my mobile phone to call Zhang Jingyun. I went over. The call was quickly answered. Tong. Before he could speak, I spoke first. Zhang Jingyun, I'll give you half an hour, come and take your mother away immediately. Wife, I really can't come now that I'm about to go on a business trip. During this time, please take care of my mother for a few days. He had a good idea. He went on a business trip himself and asked me to take care of her. He thought that I would agree, right, Zhang Jingyun? I'll give you one last chance that if you don't come and take your mother away. Don't blame me for not showing you mercy. He seemed to have designated me. There was no other way. He hung up my phone on the spot. He even shamelessly sent me a list of dishes. It clearly stated what my mother-in-law could eat, what she needed to avoid, and that she should be taken out to bask in the sun on time, etc. Wife, come on, I believe you can do it. Probably because he was angry that I smiled instead of getting angry. Looking at the text messages he sent me, I just felt that he really didn't understand me. No one could force me to do something that I, Su Yimo, didn't want to do. The only consequence of forcing me was humiliation. I hired 2 people to carry Su Tong to the police station. Zhang Jingyun wanted to blackmail me morally, but he didn't know that this trick didn't work on me. And it was him who did it. If he's unkind, don't blame me for being unjust. The noise at the door quickly attracted the attention of the police. I looked up and saw that it was a coincidence. The police on duty today happened to be the male policeman who drove me home on the highway that day. When he saw it was me, he nodded and smiled at me. Then he asked me what happened. I pretended to be confused and told him that I didn't know what was going on. As soon as I woke up this morning, I saw him lying at the door of my house. If it weren't for the fact that he looked unconscious, I would have thought there was a thief in the house. Su Tong was so anxious that he couldn't say a word and could only make a humming sound. I ignored his paralyzed appearance and turned to the police to make a sincere request. I hoped that they could help me check whose old man this was. I didn't know if he was lost. If he was lost, how anxious would the family be? When I said this, the male policeman nodded quickly and began to search Su Tong to see if he had his ID card. Actually, Su Tong and I didn't meet very often. We only met once at a wedding and we didn't meet again after that. So I had long forgotten what he looked like, but I didn't expect that in just 5 years, his hair was all white. He was also paralyzed in bed. He looked really pitiful. After all, even his only son was a snob. He didn't want to care about him at all. The male policeman quickly found an ID card in his pocket. After searching, he quickly found the information of his immediate family members. He looked at me with an embarrassed expression. After hesitating for a long time, he spoke to me. Miss Su, is your husband called Zhang Jingyun? I nodded. This old lady is Zhang Jingyun's mother, that is, your mother-in-law. Hearing this, I looked at Su Tong, who was lying on the ground at the moment, with a surprised look on my face. After a moment of trance, I spoke. I'm really sorry. I don't usually contact my mother-in-law. I only met her once when I got married. I really didn't think about it. She was paralyzed. But if that's the case, then he was brought home by my husband. But my husband never told me that he wanted to bring my mother-in-law home. Besides, I have children at home to take care of my mother-in-law. Now I have to go to work, take care of the children, and do housework. How can I have so much time to take care of my mother-in-law? And I called him just now, but he didn't answer. It's obvious that he wants to throw all the burdens of the family to me. But I'm just a woman. How can I be so smart? In order to gain sympathy, I cried and cried in front of the police station. Seeing me like this, the male policeman also felt sorry for me. He called Zhang Jingyun immediately and asked him to take his mother back. After all, because of the highway, the incident above, the male policeman had some prejudice against Zhang Jingyun. When he called at this moment, his tone was even more stiff and cold. Soon I heard Zhang Jingyun's voice of refusal. He also asked the police to contact me. The male policeman obviously didn't want to talk nonsense with him, so he directly brought out the law. Mr. Zhang, from a legal perspective, you are Su Tong's son, and Su Yimo is his daughter-in-law. A daughter-in-law has no obligation or responsibility to take care of her mother-in-law. But you do. So if you don't come back to pick up the old man, we will send someone to arrest you for abandonment. It was not until the policeman said this that he quickly agreed and said he would be back soon. Perhaps because he was too anxious, he forgot to hang up the phone. The voice of resentment and cursing was transmitted to everyone's ears through the microphone. Su Yimo, this bitch. I sent my mother to him. He didn't even know how to take good care of her. I was really deceived by his well-behaved mask. He said he was filial to the elderly. But in the end he just made trouble for me. Su Tong was the same. She was paralyzed when she had any other disease. My father was so busy with work. But I still had to take care of an old person. It's so unlucky. The male police officer became angrier and angrier as he listened. He probably didn't expect there would be such a morally corrupt and selfish person. He was so angry that he hung up the phone directly. He even comforted me. I told me not to take it to heart. I smiled. Of course I wouldn't take it to heart. I had figured it out when Zhang Jingyun left me alone at the highway service area. I would definitely divorce him in this life. After returning from the police station, I moved out of my home. Get out. This house was originally bought by our family. So Zhang Jingyun's name was not written on it. After I packed my things, I contacted the agent immediately. Facing such a selfish man, I can't live with him anymore. My daughter happened to be on summer vacation during this period. So I took her to travel abroad for a good and relaxing trip. The most important thing is to please yourself. When we arrived at the airport, Zhang Jingyun's phone kept calling me. But I hung up all of them. Later he sent a WeChat message to condemn me. Why did you send Su Tong to the police station? Su Yimo. Aren't you afraid of being struck by lightning for doing this? It's a joke. Su Tong is his mother. He doesn't care about his own mother. It's none of my business. Even if he is going to be struck by lightning, it will only be him. And it's not me. I turned off my phone, held my daughter's hand, and boarded a plane to a foreign country. Just as Zhang Jingyun said, I earn enough to support myself. Since I can make myself well-fed and well-clothed, why should I embarrass myself and live a life that makes me feel uncomfortable? Without Zhang Jingyun, my life will be freer and I can take care of my daughter by myself. During the time I traveled with my daughter, we rented a house abroad. Every day I took my daughter to see the scenery and taught her English and learn more extracurricular knowledge. The days were so happy. I took a photo of my daughter and I playing on the beach and posted it on WeChat Moments. Zhang Jingyun called me immediately after seeing it. Su Yimo, you are really too selfish. You are only concerned with enjoying life with your daughter, you don't care about my mother's life or death, right? I tell you. We haven't divorced yet. As his wife, you should fulfill your responsibilities. As long as you choose to return to China to take care of my mother, I won't care about what you did before. I almost burst out laughing at his words. He also said something about the responsibilities of a wife. He was really thick-skinned when he said this. Besides, he doesn't know how to take good care of his own mother. Why does he put this on me all day long? Do I owe him money or my life? It's ridiculous. I advise you to sign the Zhang Jingyun divorce agreement as soon as possible. Otherwise, I don't mind suing you through legal means. After saying this, I hung up the phone directly. Another month passed like this. I was talking to my parents that day. Video chat. From them, I learned that Zhang Jingyun's recent life was a mess. He was going to go on a business trip that day. After receiving the call, he had to rush back from the airport. Not only that, when he arrived at the police station to pick someone up, he was also educated by the male police officer. Zhang Jingyun lost face in front of everyone. On the way back, he vented his anger at Su Tong. He almost hit her. But he also knew that it was his mother. No matter how angry he was, he couldn't do it. So he held back his anger and returned to the community, but found that the key of the apartment had been changed. Even his luggage was packed out and placed at the door. After a lot of questioning, he learned that the house had been sold by me. With nowhere else to go, he wanted to ask my parents for help, but my dad swept him away. He was driven out. My father had a bad temper. He was scared and fled. Later, he had no choice but to take his mother to live in a small hotel that cost 80 yuan a night. In order not to affect his career, he finally had to grit his teeth and spend 5,000 yuan to hire a caregiver. However, his monthly income was only 10,000 yuan at most. The caregiver and the hotel rental fee accounted for 80 of his salary. His life began to become more and more tight. He knew that this would not work. So he set his sights on me again. When I received a call from the hospital saying that Zhang Jingyun was sick and hospitalized, I was teaching my daughter to do her homework. It was 5 hours later when the plane landed. I placed my daughter at my parents' home and then slowly went to the hospital. Zhang Jingyun, lying on the bed, looked haggard. Very. His face was covered with stubble. His eye sockets were sunken. He was even skinny. When he saw me coming, the corners of his mouth slightly raised. But it was not joy, but the pleasure of his plan succeeding. Sure enough, he immediately said, "Wife, I'm sorry. I was wrong. I was really wrong. I didn't take care of your feelings before. Now I finally realize that it's not easy for you. It's really not easy for you to take care of Mom. I'll listen to you now. Find a nurse. But can you help me share some of the financial pressure?" "Okay." I looked at him lying on the bed. I didn't say a word. Just looked at him in silence. Seeing me like this, he continued to play the pity card to me. "Wife, it's really not easy for me recently. I have to go to work during the day. I have to take care of my mom at night. I don't eat well or sleep well every day. I really don't know how I can live like this. How can I live on without your help? I really can't do it. Honey, please help me. Please." I put down the fruit basket in my hand. I picked my earwax impatiently. It was the same thing over and over again. I really felt like my ears were getting calluses. Then I ignored his crying in front of me and directly refused him. "I want help." Zhang Jinjian's face suddenly became gloomy. But he knew that he needed my help now. He could only choose to endure it temporarily. So he suppressed his emotions and continued to persuade me patiently. "Honey, for the sake of our many years of marriage, are you really so heartless?" I nodded. "Yes. I am a heartless woman. And I didn't come here to see you this time. I came to give you the divorce lawsuit documents." I opened my bag and put a document in front of him. "You kept dragging it on and refused to do it. Divorce has seriously affected my current life. And it will not help me in the future. Since you are so stubborn. So I will directly file a lawsuit. If you want to spend time and money to sue me, I will not stop you. I am just afraid that you can't afford it. Well, that's all I have to say. You should have a good rest. After all, you still have to take care of your mother after you are discharged from the hospital. You must not let her condition get worse." After saying these words, I turned and left. Zhang Jingyun roared and madly at my back, venting his dissatisfaction. He even picked up the pillow at hand and threw it at me fiercely. It's a pity that the angle was off and he didn't hit me. Su Yimo, I really didn't expect that you are so heartless. You said that you love me, but you are all lies. When something happens to my family, you run faster than anyone else. Come on. You are such a heartless woman. I was really blind to fall for you. Let me tell you, if you treat your mother-in-law like this now, aren't you afraid that your daughter will treat you the same way when you are old and sick? I laughed in front of him. Don't worry, the daughter I raised will never be like you who destroys the three views. He is very filial now. I even forgot that you are his father. After all, since he was born, you have been absent from every important moment in his life. And I was really blind to fall for a scum like you. Don't flatter yourself too much. After leaving the hospital, I drove directly to the supermarket and bought a bunch of snacks and fruits that my daughter likes. I also bought some daily health supplements for my parents. After returning home, my daughter was excited to see that I bought so many delicious foods. She rushed into my arms and kissed me several times. Feeling my daughter's love for me, the bad mood I had because of meeting Zhang Jingyun disappeared instantly. It was also at this time that I understood more clearly the importance of educating children from an early age and the importance of the environment in which children grow up. Zhang Jingyun's selfish character is actually largely due to his mother. Children who grow up in single-parent families lack family affection, so their personalities are somewhat extreme. They stubbornly believe that no one loves them. Therefore, long-term self-hypnosis has led them to have no empathy for the people around them, and put themselves first in their lives. I didn't realize this in time, which led to my wasting so many years. Now I must stop at the brink. The warm family, the days passed like this. My daughter became more sensible and considerate under my education. A week later, I heard about Zhang Jingyun again from a friend. I heard that after he was discharged from the hospital, he found that the nurse he hired was actually a thief. On the second day of his hospitalization, the nurse stole all the valuables in the rental house, such as his laptop and some bank cards. Zhang's mother was lying in the rental house, and the bed was full of excrement. He endured the huge anger, taking care of his paralyzed mother, and continued to work to earn money to support them. But it was precisely because he had been in such a tense and high-pressure living environment for a long time that he made mistakes at work. Not only did he miss the promotion, but he was also bitten back by his colleagues, slandered for leaking company secrets, and was directly kicked out of the company. He lost the job opportunity he valued most. He returned to the rental house in a daze. Zhang's mother lying on the bed was like the last straw that broke the camel's back. He could no longer bear the depression of these days, so he vented his anger to Zhang's mother. I happened to go there that day, and wanted to get his signature. I didn't expect to see him venting wildly in the house. It's all because of you. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have lost my job, and my marriage wouldn't have ended up like this. You were found cheating by my father. And your marriage broke down. It's okay that you're not happy, but now you want me to end up like you, divorced. As my mother, you don't know how to help me, but you've become such a burden to me. I should have ignored you and not taken you in. I should have let you fend for yourself in the countryside. Although Zhang's mother was paralyzed in bed, she still had the most basic consciousness. She became more and more excited. My words became sharp and unpleasant. And I didn't even give him any face. I watched all this coldly at the door. It turned out that the reason why Zhang's mother chose to divorce was because he was unwilling to be lonely and chose to cheat. Zhang's father couldn't stand it after finding out about this, so he filed for a divorce, and he also felt that Zhang Jingyun would not be his biological son, so he left Zhang Jingyun to Zhang's mother. Zhang went to find her after the divorce. The cheating man. But she was just playing with him. She would never be stupid enough to marry a divorced woman. It was not until this time that Zhang realized that she was the one who was deceived. She could not accept that her marriage would become like this. So she put all the faults on her ex-husband, blaming him for not caring about her enough. Zhang Jingyun was also educated by him in this way. Zhang Jingyun, who grew up in such an educational environment, began to become twisted and selfish. I didn't want to stand here and waste time. So I knocked on the door of the rental house and opened it. When I saw me standing at the door, Zhang Jingyun's face turned pale. Zhang Jingyun is your mother after all. He is paralyzed in bed now. Do you think you can change the facts by blaming him like this? And your life is the result of your making it like this. Don't always habitually put all the responsibilities on others. After getting the divorce agreement he signed, I didn't want to stay here for too long. I turned around and left. Later, I didn't pay much attention to their affairs. Even to prevent him from harassing me in the future, I changed my phone number. I was chatting with a friend that day. Do you know Zhang Jingyun is in jail now? When I saw this news, my hand on the screen keyboard was slightly stunned. It turned out that Zhang Jingyun was in a very embarrassing situation after divorcing me. He lost his job income and had no money to pay the rent. He was kicked out soon and lived on the streets. Later, he couldn't stand it anymore. One night, he pushed Zhang's mother into the sea, causing him to drown. Everything he did was captured by the surveillance camera. He was also imprisoned. Zhang Jingyun was sentenced to death. After he went to prison, he even sent someone to pass a message to me, saying that he wanted to see me again, but I refused directly. At this point, there is nothing to say between us. Meeting again is just a waste of time. I looked at my daughter playing happily on the lawn not far away. I knew that I would not end up like her in this life because the environment we grew up in was full of family affection and love. And these were all things she never had.